All right. Next one. This one is easy, creamy, cozy butternut squash risotto with sage. And here's the picture.
Visit Indeed.com/hire and get started.
And here we go. Ingredients. 1 tablespoon of oil of your choice. I would highly recommend coconut oil. And they also say lard, but if you're going to do that, make sure it is not bought from the store. Make sure it is from a local farmer. Or rendered yourself. 1 large butternut squash peeled and diced. Homegrown. 1 large onion finely chopped. I would use onion powder. I do not like onion. But make sure, it's your onions are homegrown. And if you're going to use onion powder, you can dehydrate the onion yourself and then crush it into powder. 5 to 6 dried oyster mushrooms reconstituted into 1/2 cup of hot water and thinly sliced. Add strained soaking water to the broth. 3 cloves of garlic, homegrown yourself. 2 cups of short grain rice, make sure it's organic, natural. 1/2 cup of dried vermouth or white wine. 5 cups of winter support broth. 3 tablespoons of real butter. 1 cup of Parmesan cheese. Would be awesome if it was homemade. 1/2 cup of heavy cream from your own fresh milk, from your own dairy goats or dairy cows. Sea salt and pepper to taste. 10 to 20 leaves of fresh or dried sage from your own garden, chopped. All right. Now, after singing the praise of sage, I would be remiss not to include a recipe featuring this wonder of an herb. There is nothing as cozy in the winter months as a steamy bowl of risotto. I often have a surplus of butternut squash tucked up in the rafters, and this is a simple, delicious way to use it. I'll have to try this recipe. Instructions. Preheat your oven to 400. Line a large baking sheet with parchment paper for the butternut squash. Toss the butternut squash pieces with a drizzle of coconut oil and sprinkle lightly with a little salt. Arrange in a single layer on the pan. Roast for 40 minutes or until tender and caramelized. Next, in a pot, bring 5 cups of broth to a low simmer. Heat 1 tablespoon of coconut oil or lard in a medium Dutch oven over a medium heat. Add onion, mushrooms, and a pinch of sea salt. Cook, stirring occasionally until onions have softened and are slightly caramelized. Again, I would use onion powder. About 5 to 7 minutes. Add the minced garlic and cook until fragrant, 1 to 2 minutes. Add your rice and cook 2 to 3 minutes or until slightly translucent. Add 1/2 cup of vermouth and stir, or the white wine, and stir thoroughly. Add all but 1 cup of hot broth to the rice mixture. Cover the Dutch oven and bake on a lower oven rack until rice is tender and cooked through about an hour. Rice should seem a little dry at this point. Carefully remove the Dutch oven from the oven and remove the lid. Pour in the remaining cup of broth, Parmesan, butter, and cream. Remember, make sure it's real butter. And the cream is definitely best if it's fresh from your own fresh milk from your dairy goats or dairy cows. Stir in the sea salt and freshly ground pepper. Stir in roasted butternut squash. Taste and add salt, sea salt, and or freshly ground pepper as needed. Divide risotto into bowls and top each with a generous sprinkle of sage. When I worked in restaurants, we often used dried vermouth instead of white wine because it is easier to have on hand and does not go bad as quickly as wine. Besides, I would rather drink my wine. To make this dairy-free, you can add 3/4 cup of coconut cream in place of cream, real butter, and Parmesan, and just add extra broth. All right, and that was it for the easy, creamy, cozy butternut squash risotto with sage. I'll go ahead and get this up there, and I will see you guys in a few minutes on the next video. Bye, guys.